Hello and welcome to Blossom Sandwich Sews. My name is Yvette and today I'm really excited to be joining you on the Sew Upcycle 24 vlog tour. So I'm going to be telling you all about my upcycling project that I've got planned for this month, and yeah, just telling you a little bit more about the challenge. So I'll pop in a graphic now about the challenge so you can see all the criteria to join in. So basically all you have to do is make an upcycled garment or bag using something that you already had, or maybe you got it from a charity shop, so it can be a previous garment or a tablecloth or something like that, and then upcycle it into something that you can wear or use. So all of the details of this challenge are in Stash Hub app as well, so I include this in my monthly roundups, so you can check all the details there and link it up to your project in Stash Hub as well. So the challenge is hosted by Karen, who is So Little Time, and Becky, Notes from the Sewing Room, and they've hosted this challenge previously as well. So I'll pop in a picture of what I made last year, and it's actually one of my favorite dresses. So I wore this quite recently and I was thinking about how much I love wearing this dress. So it was originally a Selkie pattern Celeste dress, but I hadn't quite got the fit right, and I just felt like it was kind of swamping me, that dress, to the dark fabric and the long sleeves and everything, and I decided to turn it into the Mabel dress by Tilly and the Buttons. So I was really pleased with how that went, so I'm kind of inspired to try a similar approach for this year, in that I'm going to be upcycling one of my me-made projects. So the project that I'm going to be upcycling is actually this shirt that I'm wearing right now. So I'll pop in some pictures so you can see what it looks like. But I used a vintage pattern. So this is the pattern. It is the Vogue 8145, so I got this from Doug's gran, so I've actually got a version that she made for Doug's mum, so I'll pop in a picture of that as well. But yeah, I really love this ruffle on the front. I just think it's a really cute pattern, and I feel like this is kind of quite on trend at the moment, this kind of yoke detail. So I made this for another challenge, the Sew April Blouse Challenge. And I really love it. I love the fabric so much. This is the Super Bloom fabric from Bornella Fabrics, but unfortunately I just haven't really found myself reaching for this. And you know, I really want to get the most out of my me-mades and, you know, wear them and love them. So I've been kind of pondering on why it is that I'm not wearing this too much, and I think part of the reason is that it doesn't go with like my favourite bottoms. So there's the cobalt blue is like slightly a tone off from my like blue Danny pants, so then I feel like I don't want to wear it with that. And then I have got some black jeans, but I'm also kind of like out of the black jeans zone right now, so yeah, I'm just not wearing it enough. So I've been thinking about what I can do to get more wear out of this, basically. So I think the first thing is I'm going to make short sleeves. So with the ruffle, this is quite big on the shoulders. I mean, this pattern is an 80s pattern, so I mean, what would you expect? But I think with the big shoulders and the long sleeves, it's quite a lot. And I run quite hot as well, so I prefer to wear short sleeves and then put a like cardigan or something over the top if I get cold. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do is shorten the sleeves. And I'm also like not super in love with how the cuffs have come together on this. They're like quite a weird way of doing it, where there's like a little gap there and then you sort of pleat it over. But I feel like it's not my most robust piece of sewing there. So by chopping the sleeves off, that removes that little niggle about this make as well. You know, one of those things that only the maker would notice, but you know how it is. I do have the most perfect buttons for this fabric though. So the first thing that I'm going to do is shorten the sleeves, and then I was really lucky to pick up a remnant of some more of this fabric in the Bornella Fabrics sale. So this is 1.57 meters of this fabric. So what I'm thinking of doing is turning the blouse into a dress, because then I don't have to worry about pairing it with bottoms, and I think it will look really, really cute as well. And also with the black, it'll be perfect to wear with like black tights, so I can wear it in the winter as well. So this is my plan. So what I'm thinking of doing is cutting off the shirt at sort of waist height, and then the shirt itself is quite boxy. So what I'm thinking of doing is adding the Davenport skirt from that Friday Pattern Company Davenport pattern. So that's got like a waist channel, so I can cinch in the waist if I want to. And it's also got a ruffle on the bottom, which I think will like echo this ruffle here. So that is my plan. So stay tuned to see how that works out. Okay, so I've just laid out my blouse and I've already got my first problem that I've run into. So this is the pattern piece for the Davenport skirt, and on the Davenport pattern, the top and the skirt are the same size, whereas here you can see that the skirt is going to be wider by almost 2 inches. So I need to decide what I'm going to do with that excess, whether I taper this pattern piece in by 2 inches, but then that's quite a lot and I don't want it to become tight kind of over the hips, or whether I have like kind of gather this skirt piece to the bodice to like just get it, you know, get it to fit. But then is that going to look weird if it's gathered and then also has the drawstring? So yeah, first hurdle that I've run into, so something for me to consider what I'm going to do about that. So I think the easiest way that I could adjust the Davenport skirt to get it the same width as the bodice would be to just take like 2 inches out of the center, like where the center fold is, but then that's losing a lot. Like I'm going to lose 8 inches overall, you know, from like this side, the other side, and then on the back as well. So I'm worried that it would get too tight, like over the hips, and that's really not what I want. So now I'm thinking maybe let's not bother with the Davenport, let's not do the drawstring and come up with a new plan. So now what I'm thinking of doing is just sacking off the Davenport idea and just making a nice gathered skirt. So I'll probably do maybe like 1.5 times the width of the top, and then maybe add a ruffle to the bottom as well, and just keep it simple with some inseam pockets. I'll need to crop the shirt to waist height before I add the skirt. So I've just put the tape measure around my waist. I'm just going to put a pin in here so I know where to cut. And obviously I'll also have to add the seam allowance as well. But I think that falls quite nicely between the buttons. So I think that's going to look okay. It's not going to be like right next to a button that I'll have a seam. So yeah, quite pleased with that. So I'll just need to trim that off, trim the sleeves off as well. So I'll decide what length I want those whilst I've got the shirt on. And then it will just be cutting out my rectangles to make the skirt. See you later to that bottom half. I'm sad that I've lost my Savage label from Little Rosy Cheeks, but maybe I can unpick that and use it on another part of this make. So now it's time to chop the sleeves. It was kind of hard to tell what the sleeve would be like short when it was a long sleeve, but this is a gathered sleeve, so you can see that at the bottom it's quite wide. So I'm thinking I might just trim it a little bit shorter because I left enough to hem it, but I'm thinking I might trim it a little bit shorter and then do a cuffed sleeve. I think that might be really cute. Okay, so we've got everything cut out now. So we've got the bodice, which I've shortened the sleeves. These cuffs I'm going to make to put on the sleeves, and then the skirt. So we've got the top of the skirt, the bottom ruffle, and the pockets. So I always make my pockets like this with a flat top so that I can anchor them in to the waistband. So now is time to get sewing. So I'm trying the dress on to see how I like the fit and how long I want to make the length. I think the sleeves are really cute shorter, but I kind of hate the waist. So I'm going to see about putting a gathered channel in and some buttonholes. So I've got this pink cord that I had in my stash for a different project, but I think that will look pretty cute because there is pink in this print. So what I've done is I've made 2 small buttonholes
in the front, so the cord's going to poke out of the buttonholes each side, and then what I'm going to do is top stitch a channel onto the inside. So I've got a strip of the same fabric, which I have just folded in the edges, so I'm just going to top stitch that to the inside and then thread the channel through there. So this is the method from the Rita shirt dress, which I made recently for the knitting and stitching show, although this is what the cord was for, but actually my Rita dress is now a duster, and I received a lot of compliments on it as a duster, so for now it's going to stay like that and not be the Rita dress, but at least having the pattern means that I can learn new techniques. So I'm going to test out this new technique, and I'll report back, and hopefully this is just the finishing touch that I need to get this project done. So here's my channel. I've pinned it all the way around the inside. I did think about trying to stitch in the ditch on this bit, but I kind of just want to get this project done at this point, so I've just pinned it kind of an even distance all the way around, and I think it's going to be so close, once it's drawn in with the drawstring, it won't be that noticeable anyway. So I'm just going to sew over the ends, so the ends just go over the end of the buttonholes to get the whole thing completely encased. So I'm just going to sew that, and then we can put the drawstring in, and it will be the moment of truth.
She's finished. Pockets, of course. Still got my little collar, ruffle, and my perfect buttons. Let me know what you think about my drawstring idea. Yeah, really pleased with my bottom ruffle and the skirt as well. Yeah, I think it's turned out really cute. So that is my finished project for Sew Upcycle 23. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing my process. Hopefully you're not feeling too queasy from my handheld camera work. But yeah, let me know what you think of this dress. I'm really pleased with it. There's only a couple of things that I might go back in and change, but normally what I try and do is wear my garments at least a couple of times to see if those things bother me as much as I think they will. You know, you can get kind of picky when you're working on a project and you think, oh no, I can just tweak this, I can tweak this, I can make this better. So the only things I might change is these cuffs on the sleeves. I might make them a bit bigger, or maybe do elasticated cuffs, because they fit fine like here, but sometimes if the sleeve kind of rides up my arm, then it gets a bit stuck and gets a bit tighter. But yeah, I think it does look cute with the little cuffed sleeve. I mean, the sleeve itself could be puffier, but I'm not taking the sleeves off. So yeah, maybe tweak that cuff a tiny bit, but that's like a really minor niggle. And then the other thing is, I'm not sure if this drawstring is perfect. Let me know what you think, but I could always get a different one, like a different colour, or even use some of the scraps of fabric, piece them together to make like a string out of the self fabric. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out in the end. I guess I kind of went back to my Davenport plan in the end by still putting a drawstring waist in. I just kind of went a bit of a long-winded way about it. But yeah, that was sort of my process. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get Doug to take some nice photos of me in this dress, and I can post it to Instagram on the reveal date, which is the 31st of October for the Sew Upcycle challenge. So let me know in the comments if you're planning to join in this challenge as well, and don't forget to post your makes on the reveal date. I mentioned earlier there's loads and loads of great prizes for this challenge, including a free year of Stash Hub Plus. So good luck in the prize draw if you are planning on entering this challenge. And do check out the rest of the vlog tour for this challenge, because there are loads of great videos coming out. I think the video before this one was by Romy Kate, so I'll try and link that up in the description. And then the next one to keep an eye out for is from the lovely Liz, who is the baker that sews. So we'll link to her channel as well in the description. And I believe that this fabric is still available from Bonella Fabrics, so I'll put a link in the description to that as well if you're interested. So this is one of the colorways, and there's also more bluey colorway and a more pinky colorway. So yeah, it's just such a lovely vibrant fabric, and it's so easy to sew as well. So yeah, that's it from me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm only 100 subscribers away from 2,000, so please do subscribe if you are not already, and hopefully I'll have another video coming out soon. I'm thinking my next video might be going through my fabric stash, because the next Surrey Sews event that's coming up on the 16th of November is our fabric swap. So I'm going to look through my fabric that I've got and decide what I'm going to be bringing to the swap. So if you are around in like the south of England, I'll put a link to that event in the description as well if you fancy coming and refreshing some of your stash. I'm gonna be super busy next month because November is the 2nd birthday of Stash Hub. So I'm doing loads of stuff for that, including running a challenge. So the challenge is called Sew to Celebrate To, and all you have to do is sew 2 meters of any cotton fabric, fabric with any cotton content, to celebrate our 2nd birthday. So I probably ought to do a video in my own vlog tour, so stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming up. So yeah, if you can't wait to hear more from me about what I'm up to, do follow me on Instagram at Blossom Sandwich and at stash_hub, as that's where I put out most of my content. So yeah, hopefully see you guys soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!